Welcome to another episode of What I Learned from Bobby Hemmit. In this episode, I will decode the Three Little Pigs. I will try not to go off on a tangent explaining personal things. Point number one. The characters are a pig and a wolf. Who are pigs, boys and girls? Who has the DNA of a pig? Only if you are on the 1,000-watt Bobby Hemmit level, you know the ancient science of the DNA of the beast. They come from a pig, and if you just looked at them, you would see a pig skin. However, that information was on temples that got covered up. Temples that got destroyed. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was in the temple of Seti I. So, that's point number one. Point number two was who is the wolf? What does the wolf represent? Well, just like a lot of black, just like anything black, black is melanin, melanin is a black. The wolf represents the black person. But it represents the power of the melanin. Like all animals are representing melanin because they have melanin. And it's their melanin that gives them their spiritual talent, richness, acuity, and magic. I mean, nobody can be a bird, right? I mean, a bird is a bird, right? You used to be able to do that kind of thing, but anyway, it's the melanin that lets them do those things. So anyway, the wolf is a black person, okay? It's the power of a black person. And also it's a cousin of Anubis. All right, so now the story. Pig number one made his house of straw. If you know anything, if you're on the 1,000-watt Bobby Hemmit level, you know that your social security number is a corporation labeled on top of you, the natural person, the free the free energy on the earth as a person, as a human, but you've been turned into a corporation by non-consent, by your consent, but by trickery. By just being given a birth certificate. So, straw represents the straw man. The straw man is your corporate name and your social security. Point number two. The second pig made his house of wood. What else is made of wood, boys and girls? Is paper made of wood? Paper is another thing that is binding us in this hell matrix and money system. So it's another it's a form of bondage, okay? So you got the straw man, which is your social security number. The house of straw is the straw man. The house of wood is paper. Paper is money, and paper is contracts. And paper is laws, statutes, articles of corporations, incorporations, fake boundaries, etc., etc., etc. Taxes, liens, mortgages, all kinds of paper bullshit that people think that they have to abide by, which they kind of do because the majority rules. Now, the third, boys and girls, is going to blow you away because I just got this revelation last night. The pig number 3 made his house of brick. He made his house of brick. And symbolically, the Freemasons, or so-called Freemasons, which is very, that term is very juvenile, but that's how they trick you, because they're using the juvenile to describe something very deep and occultic. A Freemason is just someone that is supposed to be a master builder, but it's not literal. It means someone that controls everything. Someone that is the creator, the inventor, the builder, the structurer, the architect of anything. When you are the architect and you are the one that build the building, other people are at your fucking mercy. Whatever you build, even the concept, the idea, the invention. If you are the Freemason, the master builder, a mason is an old term for a builder, with brick and mortar is the example that they're using, then you are the one that is creating things for other people to use. And that by default, you are using other people because you are going to be charging them for all kinds of shit just to use things and just to fucking live. Which is what we're all trapped in right now. You're paying to live. You're paying to exist. Every single minute of your life. You are paying to just fucking exist. Even when you die, you're paying to fucking die. So, the brick represents the Freemason. The Freemason represents the architect. And the architect represents the construction of all these false things that we live and participate in. The legal system. That's illegal. The justice system that is unjust. And all kinds, anything under the government, which is to govern the mind. All right. That's it, boys and girls. Now review the story. The black person is the wolf. What did the wolf do? Or what couldn't he do? What did the wolf do? He went to house number 1 made of straw, and he huffed and he puffed. And it was very hard for him to blow that house down. Are you going to get out of having a goddamn social security number? Maybe. But they're still going to get you. So, pig number 1 just went to pig number 2's house. The wolf or black person went to pig number 2's house. Made of wood, which is representing paper and money and contracts. The wolf huffed and puffed and tried. And it was difficult, and he blew the house down. But in reality, can you blow the house down? You could become a business owner. You can get on top of the money situation if you're taught early. But it's very hard to do. Because there's a system against you, if you didn't know that. All right. The wolf goes to, the wood house got finally blown down. The pigs go to house number 3. That fucking house could not be blown down. The black person could not conquer the occult knowledge of Freemasonry. He couldn't. And what did they do to the wolf? They cooked his fucking ass and ate him. The wolf tried to use physical force against occult knowledge, magic, and the principles of energy of the universe. And that's what the bricks represent. It represents Freemasonry, but Freemasonry represents the occult, and the occult represents the knowledge about melanin, occultism. Because Bobby Hemmit said before that melanin used to be called occultism. He said that. No, I bear witness to that. The science of melanin. And boys and girls, it's so sad to say, they knew this shit since the 1800s. Since the inception of this goddamn fucking place we call America. Actually, it's not America. The United States of America is not united. It's corporations owned by Britain. But only you gotta be, I would say you have to be on a 1,000,000 watt level. But that doesn't sound right. So you just might as well say 1,000 watt level. You get on the 1,000 watt Bobby Hemmit frequency. And you would know this stuff because I was learning about the money system. I think I was learning it before I knew about Bobby Hemmit. I learned about Hollywood and all the treacherous sodomizing shit they do 10 years before now it's common. So, anybody want to ask for me to decode anything, you can write and say decode this, decode that. Some of it, there might not be something that I can decode. Yeah. But I tell you what, I'm not going to be singing no Baba Black Sheep anymore. Or teaching kids to do that shit. I'm not going to be writing about no goddamn Jack and Jill anymore. Since I know what it really means. That ends another episode of what I learned from Bobby Hemmit. And thank God that was only 13 minutes long. And you will increase in consciousness at whatever level you are at. And if you are on 1,000 to the 10th power watt of Bobby Hemmit level of gnosis, then if you're on that level, then you know what you need to be thinking, because they got it all planned out on you, man. Even the concept of religion is what is binding you. That is like you are the Christ. There ain't no fake gay motherfucking Jesus that ever lived. You are that motherfucker on that cross. You are the one getting crucified before the foundation of the world every single day in every way. And the masses are participating in that, thinking that, God had to sacrifice his son, which is so stupid. Anyway, thank you, Bobby Hemmit. That's all I can say. The only thing I've ever learned at all is from Bobby Hemmit. Everything else is a lie, a farce, a joke, worthless, meaningless. And of course, it's because I have black parents that don't know anything. They know how to whip somebody. They know how to hate themselves. They know how to be jealous of their own children. And they know how to be a slave to the beast. There are exceptions. But most black parents are like that. Because they've just been through the ringer too much. The end.